Hey, hey, are you there?
What? What are you doing? You called me.
Let's do this, man. Come on.
Let's do it.
Hey, everybody. We hope that you had a wonderful Christmas and holiday season. We've got an episode coming for you.
Well, listen, sometimes we record these episodes and we forget when they're going to air.
We're
And
not.
so we pre-recorded this episode that we're going to bring to you today all about our experiences at Indiana University without realizing it would air the day after Christmas. So we wanted to jump on here and say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Oh, my God.
And of course, I just had a birthday.
I
My
can't
birthday
do it,
is
brother.
Christmas Eve. No,
I'm
it's
just
all good.
too. I'm
It's all
too.
good.
I'm,
We hope you enjoy. We hope you enjoy this episode. Welcome to another episode of Between the Notes podcast as we wind down the semester. And hey, listen,
yeah.
for those of you who might actually be paying attention, you probably you probably noticed that we have a new intro.
Yes. Yes. It's
Yeah.
our second run in with the copyright gods.
Yeah, I know, right? It's
Uh,
like last time during the pandemic, we talked a little bit about this before, but we had our B&W listening lab, and people were telling us, because we were doing it on Facebook Live, they
right.
would say like, "Yeah, we're not hearing anything," and we'd be playing these like 15-minute,
Right.
moments of.
Excerpts. Yeah. Oh,
Oh
my
well,
God.
we learn as we go, ladies
We
and
learn
gentlemen.
as we go. We were certainly not trying to not give credit or royalties to anything. But as you said, if it's on YouTube, I thought it was fair game.
I absolutely agree, and
Yeah.
I feel terrible, but yeah. So apparently the accordion version of Laudato ad factotum that we were using in our intro is copyrighted, and so we'll see. Maybe eventually, when someone listens to this, I will have already gone back and and corrected it, and they'll be like, "What are you talking about?" Yeah, what are you gonna do, right?
Oh, but it's been a long semester, eh?
Well, I mean,
That's
yeah,
half a season for you, semester for me. Yeah.
that's exactly right.
It's
So
been great, though. Yeah.
talk a little bit about your time at IU.
Sure. So, I mean, this is the end of the first semester. So, coming up the end of 2025. And yeah, it's been great. I just have never taught so many students
Well, before this, for people who don't know, you were teaching at Westminster
at
Choir
Westminster.
College. And
Right.
so how many students did you have then?
Well, I typically had 10 or 11, but I also taught a class. So that's how it got me. And I was doing recruiting
Oh,
stuff. and other
right.
things. So I had all kinds of interesting various ways to get to the 18 hours that I needed for full time. But this one, because I had 18 students and then one had a problem with the visa, but I had already agreed to teach him before. So that got me to 19. And so then, with going to New York for these other students there, it's just been a lot. It's just been a lot. So
It's like where a lot of people get to have only 5 days of teaching. You've been
right.
kind of giving yourself 7.
And then
Plus
another
travel
5
to
on
and from.
top. Right, exactly. So it ends up being kind of like 12, 14 days without or at
break.
least 12 days without any break off. Plus the travel, as you said. Yeah, but anyway, no, it's been great. It's been great. I love my studio, I love my students, I love my colleagues, I love the facilities. I mean, having seen
We should do
um
some with bring on some colleagues. I think it would be
yeah, we
fun to
should
have Kevin Murphy on and Heidi Grant. We could do an episode with them or
absolutely.
something. That'd be cool.
Absolutely. I think it would be a lot of fun. And yeah, so yeah, I mean, tell me a little bit about, so I'm on this side of the piano or this side of the desk, as it were. Tell me some of the fun memories you have of your time here in Bloomington.
Well, so when I was a student in Bloomington, when I got there, our buddy Jeff Monette was already a student at IU, and we had met at Texas Tech University when we were both students there. And so I was very fortunate to have him sort of like show me the ropes, like
Mhm.
here's the good spots in town, these are
Right.
stay away from this, but this is great. And I'd also had the opportunity to sing with the National Opera Company before coming to IU.
Right.
And so, the way that I kind of, my trajectory, as it were, was like 2 different universities for undergrad as I followed my former teacher, Gerald Dolter, who's also an alum of Indiana University.
Oh, I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah.
All right.
He did his bachelor's, then he did a master's in arts administration at IU.
Okay. Huh.
But yeah, so I had always heard of IU from him, as a very, very young student in my undergrad.
Sure.
So I'd always kind of held this institution up as like, well, that's the best. That is the
Right.
absolute best.
Sure.
And it did not disappoint. And I
No.
think because of the experiences I had on stage before my time at IU, it helped to bring a level of sort of like, I don't know. I guess I felt more confident going into IU. I was also in this new program that they had started called the Performer Diploma in Professional Opera Studies. And so it was their attempt at trying to be competitive with the Lindemann program and
Mhm.
the Lyric Opera Chicago program, to
Right.
where there were only 8 of us that were admitted, and we got like these huge financial aid packages, and it was a wonderful time. So in addition, I also had an associate instructorship. So that meant that back in those days, you got the A parking sticker, which was the same parking sticker faculty got.
Wow,
And
yeah.
and back then, it was not the parking situation that it is now for
Yeah.
you guys.
Right.
You could literally pull up right up to the music. There were parking spots that were right next to they call it the annex building, right? The
Yeah.
round building.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it was just like, if you had an A sticker, it was like,
Wow.
it
Yeah.
was amazing. So the thing that I remember being like completely blown away by was the quality of the productions at IU.
For
So
sure.
what they put on at the Mac. I mean, I remember my audition weekend before I was admitted. They time it to where there's an opera when everyone comes to audition, and
Mhm.
I remember watching a production of La Cenerentola that had a wonderful mezzo soprano by the name of Catherine Lang. Katie Lang was the Angelina, and then the Prince Ramiro was a lesser known tenor named Lawrence Brownlee. So
Right.
Larry was singing Ramiro, and then Don Magnifico was another name that people will not recognize. Kyle Kettleson was the Magnifico.
Right.
And so coming from Texas, I sat in that house blown away by the fact that IU literally has an opera house on their campus, right? Like
Yeah.
an amazing opera house. But then when the curtain went up, I think it was one of the Robert O'Hearn set designs, which
Okay.
he retired from the Metropolitan Opera and went to Bloomington, and all of his productions from the Met came with him.
Wow.
And so this Cenerentola, when this curtain went up, I was like, just visually, right? And then when
Stunning.
everyone started to sing, I was just like, I'm like, what is happening right now? Like, am I like, is this a
Right.
joke? It
Is
was
this really a
incredible.
school?
I know.
I mean,
It
come on.
was, and I mean, at that time, we were doing 3 productions in the fall, 3 productions in the spring, and 2 productions in the summer. We were producing 8 fully staged operas. One of the productions in the summer was usually a musical, like Oklahoma, or
Right.
like I can't remember what else Sweeney Todd was one that they did one year.
Sure.
So, but I mean, other than that, it was like 7 operas and 1 musical. And it was, I mean, what type of company even programs like that, except for the Met, San
Yeah.
Francisco, Chicago, you
Right.
know what I mean? Like most
Right.
companies are hoping to do 3 or 4 productions.
Sure.
Um, so anyway, it was just like all of the nuts and bolts of that institution were just so I'm excited right now talking about it, and it's like you'd walk in, like I remember the dressing rooms. Each singer, if you were a principal singer in one of the shows at IU, you got 2 dressers assigned to you
My gosh.
and a makeup artist. So
Right.
it on one hand, it was sort of like this, but I was glad that I had come to it from where I had come from. And so I realized how incredible that was. The people who don't know any different and they're just assuming everywhere everywhere you go,
Yeah.
you get 2
Right.
dressers and you get them. It's like, no. So
No, no, no.
I really, really enjoyed my time there. And I think I sang my first Benjamin Britten role was there. I sang Junius and the Rape of Lucretia. That was the first thing I did there because we were doing a season of all like 20th century stuff because it was the 99 2000 season. So I think we did Vanessa,
Mm.
Wozzeck, and then a double.
Voltec.
Yep. They
Oh
had Franz
my gosh.
Gruntheber come in and direct the show and
Wow.
sing one of the casts. And
Right.
then there was a doctoral baritone that had been there for a while
Uh,
that sang the other cast.
Crazy.
But yeah. Um, then the third opera in the spring was a double bill, or fall was a double bill, Skiki Sor Angelica.
Right.
And then in the spring, we did Rape of Lucretia, Love for Three Oranges, and Rake's Progress.
Huh.
And then they were like, oops, nobody really came to see those. And so the next season was like L'Elysir,
Right.
Così,
Right.
Rigoletto, Faust, Candide, all these very, very, very popular shows.
Sure.
Um, but
That's
yeah,
funny.
so I sang Junius and Rape Lucretia, and then I sang Belcore and L'Elysir, and it was
Uh-huh.
in that Robert O'Hearn production from the Met where Pavarotti and Kathleen Battle and Gino
Yeah.
Quilico, and I was wearing Gino Quilico's costume. Like
Oh,
it was
wow.
amazing. It was unbelievable. And then I sang Sharpless and Madame Butterfly. That was my first Sharpless.
Mhm.
And then what else did I sing? Oh, Marullo and Rigoletto. They
Nice.
wanted me to sing Rigoletto, and my
Oh,
teacher at the
wow.
time was like, "No, no, he's not." But
There's time. Cool your
yeah,
jets.
exactly right. And then I sang the last thing I sang there was Enrico and Lucia, and the Rigoletto and the Lucia was directed by Tito Capobianco.
Right.
So back in those days, they were bringing in heavy hitters, and Imre Pallo was the conductor that I probably worked with the most there,
Mhm.
because he tended to conduct all of the Italian stuff, and I love that man. He's such a dear guy. He's from Hungary, and
Uh,
he and his wife Janet now live in Oregon. So anytime I get a chance to sing in Seattle or Portland, I tend to get to see them again. But
yeah.
I mean, so again, for me, it was such an incredible experience. However, that being said, with all that success, I had no idea what I was doing vocally. Like I really didn't feel like I knew what I was doing. I
Right.
remember my third year of vocal study with my teacher. I walked in for the very last lesson, and I remember it was in the round building, and
Right.
I remember him saying, "So how do you like to warm up, Weston?" And I looked at him and I was like, I don't know. I don't know how I kind of was like having a mental breakdown at that
Right.
moment.
That's funny.
And I think that because of that, I so much appreciated my time with Stephen Smith at the Juilliard School and at
Right.
Aspen, because his way of teaching was so black and white. It was like, here's how you
Right.
do this. These are the 6 exercises that you need to do, and
Right.
these are the reasons and how to apply it to music. And I was like, finally, concrete, black and white.
Mhm.
So I just think that it's so important that everyone sort of understands that, like, you are where you are, and eh, you know as you're a student, at least, I think it's more about trusting in the process, and rather than worrying about whether the product is perfect. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Sure.
But yeah, so I mean
Absolutely.
that was kind of my journey as a student there at IU, was just sort of like having a lot of fun and success, and that was also where I started, like, the second or the first summer between my first and second. I was there for 3 years, so the
Mhm.
summer between my first and second year, I got into Santa Fe, so I did the Santa Fe apprentice program, and then the second summer, I stayed to do Butterfly. And then the summer after my last year at IU, I went back to Santa Fe for a second year before I
Gotcha.
moved to New York City for the first time.
Right. Right, right, right.
But yeah, I mean, I'm sure as a faculty member, you must hear students that are like, at least when I was there, it was a
Yeah.
wide variety of,
Oh
like,
my gosh.
obviously people who are paying full freight tuition that might not
Right.
have, an incredible voice, but are there to learn. And then there's other people that are there that are like, treating it as like almost like a young artist program where they
Right.
sound amazing and they're the ones that are singing all the roles or whatever.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I heard a mezzo recital last week that I was just like, this girl is ready. She just needs a little bit of time, for her voice to like mature. But I think she's definitely a master's student. But if she were a PD or even a doctoral student, that wouldn't have surprised me. I mean, she's
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
so together, and the voice is beautiful. But more so, like the way she uses it is just it was really impressive
Yeah.
to hear in our hall, which is not an insignificant space to sing in.
Oh, Our
Um,
Hall, AUER, if I
right.
remember correctly, right?
Yep.
Like, that was recently added right before I got there. That whole library
Oh,
building where Ford Hall and Our
yeah.
Hall are put in there, that was brand new, I think, in 99
I
or
didn't
98.
realize that. Yeah.
98 maybe was when it was built.
Did they tear something down to put that there, I guess?
I don't know what was there.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was just like a dorm or a field, or I don't know.
I don't know.
Uh,
Yeah, because I'm just trying to think where would because the music library takes up a big part of that
yeah,
building,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then the
yeah.
two recital halls. I'm just trying to think like, where would the
What was
music
there?
library
You'd
be?
have to ask Gary Arvin. He was the
All
only
right.
person that was still there when I was there.
Oh my god.
Um, but yeah, the my point is that we were dying to get an opportunity to sing in our hall. I mean, it's
Yeah.
such a beautiful space, but like you said, it's not a tiny hall. Like Ford is rather small and
Yeah.
intimate,
Yeah.
which makes giving recitals in there equally as opportunistic because
Sure.
what other venue can you can just go, hey, and everyone in the room would hear you. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But with our, yeah, it's nice, big. They got the big organ in there. It's
Oh my God,
beautiful.
yeah. I haven't heard it yet, but I can't wait. I can't wait. As being a church musician and, kind of moonlight organist.
Yeah,
Uh
right. You should get
well,
in there. You should get in there one night during break or something and play a
right.
little bit. That'd be
I
fun.
know, right? And get fired, yes.
Not break in, not break in.
No, 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 no. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, actually one of my students just gave a recital in our hall, one of my master students. You have to be a
Nice
master student to get
to do
our
it. Yeah,
but I've had, two or three recitals in recital hall in the old building.
yeah,
And Merrill Hall, is that what it's called? Merrill Hall, the
yeah.
old
Merrill Hall,
building?
I think, is or it used to just be called Recital Hall.
Yeah, I just the building, maybe it's the Merrill building, recital hall in the Merrill building or something like that.
I think you're right. I
Something
think
like
that's
that.
exactly what it is. Yeah,
And two in Ford, which were beautiful.
yeah.
And they have amazing piano, Italian piano in Ford. And then
Neat.
you got a big Steinway
An
in
hour.
our but anyway, yeah, so I mean, as the semester's wrapping up, my grades are in only 5 recitals because one of my guys got sick, and so he got the flu 4 days before his recital, so that was a real bummer because he was way ready. He
Yeah.
had been running, you know sets of the songs, for his lessons for
That is
weeks
part of the
and
problem
weeks.
with trying to do a recital in the winter, right? It's
Yeah.
like people start getting sick and it gets cold and the weather
I
shifts
have
and
to
all that kind of
say,
stuff.
I will encourage all of my students that are doing recitals in the fall to do them before Thanksgiving,
But yeah, that's a great
because
idea.
yeah, during the Thanksgiving break, people just like kind of they're just not in the groove.
Yeah.
And like, I felt like, with some of my singers, I was like, do you remember anything we did earlier in this
Yeah, you
semester?
go away for 5 days and it's like you lost everything.
Right. It's like, I mean, I know you've been practicing a lot and that's great, but are you practicing what we're
Yeah,
doing
exactly
or what?
right.
No,
Oh
but
man.
anyway, they were great. But anyway, you live and learn. And yeah, so I'm super excited about it. I'm going to start driving home. Pretty much after we tape this episode,
Okay.
I'm going to start driving, go to Kentucky and see my good buddy Zach Bush and his wife Laura. And then it's about 3.5 hours from here.
I
And
commented on
then,
his photo, by the way. He looks great.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's doing great.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He sounds good too. He sounds great, actually.
That's
He's been
awesome.
doing a bunch of stuff with Messiah and some other concerts and
Oh,
stuff. And
nice.
he sends
Nice.
me stuff, and
I'll tell
every
you
one of
what,
them is like better and better.
sorry to interrupt, but like
Yeah,
right now, you mentioned Messiah. Right now, it's like if you've ever wanted to hear one of your good friends sing Messiah, it's like every time I flip through something on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, it's like one
yes,
friend after another singing their solos of Messiah. It's so great.
and I love it. What a great piece! I never get
Oh, I
tired of
know.
it.
I
Yeah,
know. I
yeah,
know.
yeah,
It really is cool. I mean, I don't know if like I know Sasha. Speaking of one of
huh?
your colleagues, Kelly's
Yeah,
wife, Sasha Cook. She was singing a ton of Messiahs back to back to back to back to back.
sure.
I don't know if I could do it that many. I mean, of course you can
Yeah,
do it that many times because the paychecks are nice and
right,
you can absolutely do whatever you need to do. But
right.
as far as like like say that fifth or sixth Messiah in a row, hearing another whatever. But
Right.
I do think that the different conductors and the different choruses and the different
Sure.
soloists singing the different
Different
stuff.
halls. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes it new enough, and I think that's what you have to do when you sing your repertoire, all around the world,
Right.
finding the differences in the production or whatever it might be to keep it fresh. I think that's important
Sure.
too.
Oh, absolutely,
One of
absolutely.
the things, one of the things that
Yeah.
you and I share a similarity in our experiences at IU
Huh?
is the celebrated sports teams. Because when I was a
Oh,
student
yes.
there, our basketball team went to the Final Four and they
Hmm.
won. Oh shoot! Now I can't remember what it was that we were going crazy for. There was one game where I think they might have gone to the national championship, but they lost that game.
Okay.
But they won their first game in the Final Four to get them to the national championship, and
That's amazing. Yeah.
the world. I mean, it was like Bloomington erupted, and of
Sure.
course now we've got Mendoza winning the
Right.
Heisman, and we got
Right.
Kurt Signetti. Just winning best coach of the year again 2 years in a row.
Right.
The IU football team is just on fire, and now
Absolutely.
they're gonna play in the Rose Bowl on January
Rose
1st.
Bowl.
Dude,
Yes.
this is exciting. I'm sure that the students are pumped and the faculty as well. I mean, it's got to be
Yeah.
exciting energy around there.
It's probably the first time in a long time that I'm actually excited about a bowl game, like one of these Rose
Well, yeah,
Bowls.
you're a part of it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Swing by
Absolutely.
the little swag store and get you some IU football gear before you go.
That's right. Yeah, my family is now definitely all IU'd out. They've got their sweatshirts and their t-shirts and all that kind of stuff.
Crimson
So
and
yeah.
cream, baby.
Yeah, we're gonna bring it out. We're gonna have a nice little party at the house and put it on the big TV, and
That sounds
yeah, it's gonna be
amazing.
super fun. So, well, yeah, you're kind of done for the break, right? Like, do you have any gigs before the end of the year?
Yeah, I was supposed to have knee surgery on December 9th. And so
Right,
after I finished the Messiah that I knew was on the books,
right.
I was flying home on the 8th, and I was going to have surgery on the 9th. But because I've been doing pretty well with my weight loss journey, I'm down
Uh-huh.
83 pounds now.
Good man.
Each pound you lose is like 4 psi off of your knee. And
Uh-huh.
so that's a considerable amount of weight that my
Yeah,
joints are much,
sure.
much more relaxed about. As I
Great.
said, I think, during the pandemic, when we all didn't know what was going to happen with performing arts and how that was going to turn, for whatever reason, I just decided, like, okay, now's a good time to just do whatever in the world I wanted. I ate as much as I wanted. I
Right,
drank. That was when
right.
Christina's dad was living with us, and we all
Sure.
got into like, oh, what's this bourbon? Oh, let's try this one.
Yeah,
So
right.
we were just, I look back on that time and I just think like, oof, I got myself into a lot of, or not a lot, just those two,
Just
right?
from
Drinking too
routine.
much and
Yeah,
eating too much.
right.
You just get yourself into some bad habits because it's like, well, what else are you gonna do? It seems like the
Exactly.
world just stopped, and
Can't go anywhere to eat. You can't go out, It's like,
right.
what are you
And
gonna do?
so, it took a little while, but now I'm on a much more healthy track. So because I did not require that surgery on the 9th, I was able to do that last second jump in
Right,
Messiah, which was last weekend.
right,
And that was then my final performance of 2025.
right.
But I had kind of like scheduled it in a way where January and February were going to be recovery months from the surgery.
Right.
And so I don't go back to work until March, where I do a production of Mount of Butterfly with Fort Worth Opera, which,
Awesome.
funny enough, that's my Fort Worth Opera debut. And I think that
Wow.
means now I will have sung at every opera company in Texas, which
In
is great.
Texas, yeah.
um,
Hometown.
I know, right? So I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to being back in that area. And Zach Borachevsky, Katie
Yeah,
Lewick's husband, is
sure.
going to be the Pinkerton.
Huh?
I can't remember who the children's song. I don't think I know her,
Yeah.
but anyway, I'm excited about being back and doing another butterfly and singing in that area and
Sweet.
seeing my good friends. David Bauman, of
Oh,
course,
yeah,
is
of
going to be in
course.
Dallas, so I'll get
Yeah.
to see him.
Wonderful.
But yeah, so taking a little time to be at home with the fam and spend some time with Millie, and yeah, I think that's what
That's
the
what I'm
next
looking
few
forward
months.
to. I just got back from New York. You'll see in our last episode, I was there. So I got to see the kids and Irini, but I miss my Zeusy. I miss my
Yeah.
puppy.
Oh yeah,
So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back home and seeing him, and yeah, just relaxing and smoking a turkey on the big green egg and
nice,
doing all the fixins and all that kind of stuff. And so,
nice,
yeah, we're wishing you all a wonderful holiday season. And
absolutely.
we're going to keep these episodes coming.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.
All right, see you then. Thanks for joining us on Between the Notes. Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
And join us next week for more behind the scenes stories, laughs, and operatic gold coming your way.